Why are CryptoPunks so valuable? Why are they so desired? How have they held up so well around a 60-something ETH floor, even throughout the bear market, performing better, less volatile than Bitcoin and Ethereum? How is this possible? Today, I'm going to be diving deep into why CryptoPunks are desired, why they have the most impressive holder list, why the current market cap is just around $1 billion, and why it's probably going to keep appreciating over time as one of the hardest pieces of money here in crypto. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dan here with Conquer Crypto. I'm a full-time builder in the space, in the NFT market. I've created my own project. It's called 3D Frankenpunks, and we've done over 6,000 Ethereum in volume. Our DAO owns 4 CryptoPunks, so obviously I do have a little bias here, having a ownership over those IPs. I do want to see them win, and I wholeheartedly believe in them, so I'm talking to you as, I guess more technically as a CryptoPunk holder, and from some of my closest friends also being holders. I like to make the point or the case as to why they're so desired, kind of why they're misunderstood, and how they're one of the safest, most blue chip NFTs in the market. So let's dive into it. Number one, I think we should just start with some, I don't want to say authority, but I want to talk about the holder list to really help you understand why they're so hot, right? Jay-Z owns a punk, Odell Beckham, Gary Vee owns it, Serena Williams, Steve Aoki, Logan Paul, FaZe Banks, Blau, Jason Derulo, Marshmello, Jordan Belfort, Mark Cuban. The list goes on, and almost all of the big people in the crypto, like influencers and stuff. Becker owns one, Elio Trade holds one, JRNE Crypto holds CryptoPunks. Becker put out a tweet recently saying CryptoPunks are harder money than Bitcoin, and he also scooped up 2 more into his vault. He already owned a couple, I believe. He was buying CryptoPunks in 2021, and now he's got even more, and he wholeheartedly believes in them. And we can see throughout the 2022 bear market, it's held up incredibly well going into the new year now. The floor is insanely stable, which is something to note. While Bitcoin and Ethereum were making new lows in November, well, Bitcoin at least, Punks held super duper strong. You can see here holding incredibly strong. So why do these people care so much? Why is there still, look at the volume of the last sales of the last 4 weeks is $21 million. Like, how is there still demand for these JPEGs? Why do people care this badly? Like, what's the significance? Okay, first off, Punks have survived 2 bear cycles. They started in the middle of the bull run during 2017. They didn't see light back then. They didn't go to the moon back then. They were just kind of chilling. They actually started as a completely free mint. They were free to claim. They had their own marketplace. If you go to CryptoPunks.app, this is where all the buying and trading happens. So they made their own marketplace with 0% fees. They essentially created the ERC 721 standard. This was before that standard was even like popular and what it is today. They also created the rarity and the whole PFP culture. They've created the trait standard, the randomization of traits. They essentially started this entire wave. So when you were looking at a punk, you were looking at history. The amount of units are incredibly finite. There's only 10,000 units in existence. They can never be recreated, and they can never be inflated. It's hard-coded into it. And there's no utility, which is, in fact, great because it's less speculative. The project's already done. The project accomplished what it's meant to accomplish, and it is this piece, this relic, this piece of history that will forever live on to have been to be the symbol of the beginning of the NFT wave. And that is something historical, and that is something, of course, the other values of it, of Ethereum and the whole crypto market, and putting an identity behind all these shenanigans here in the metaverse. But it's definitely very fascinating, right? It's very interesting that these were all free at one point. Even Bitcoin was free when it started. So we see some similarities in how they launched. Nonetheless, this thing is up multiples. I mean, it's up exponentially since its inception. and we'll just continue to explain why that is. So let's look at this thread on why the community believes CryptoPunks will be a better store of value than Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin is known and utilized for being a store of value due to its limited supply rather than a currency. Bitcoin was supposed to be a currency, but it's just so slow and so hard of an asset and so limited that it doesn't make sense for it to be a currency. Maybe on Lightning Network now, but definitely not as it was intended. CryptoPunks are held as a safe store of value as well. Its supply is limited to 10,000 units compared to Bitcoin's 21 million. Bitcoin's role in history is what led to the creation of Web3 and what we know and love today. Punks literally created NFT culture and gave birth to a whole new side of the blockchain and digital ownership rights in the process. Both have proven the test of time. Bitcoin has survived countless government shutdown attempts and have managed to outdo them every time. Punks have been around for 2 cycles and have held their demand strongly. Bitcoin can be used as collateral to take loans against like a property, and you don't have to sell it if you think it's going to continue going up. Protocols like NFTFi make it so much easier to take a loan against your punk. Someone recently took out an $8 million loan against 101 punks using MetaStreet XYZ. Both can be sold and traded in fractions. You don't have to sell the whole thing if you don't want to. A platform like NFTX enables you to tokenize your punk, sell it in increments. You don't have to sell. You can only sell maybe 5, 10, 20% of its liquidity. Punks can be leveraged as a branding tool and many more, just how Bitcoin has been leveraged as a branding tool. Punks are god-level digital identities in the metaverse and represent the pinnacle of Web3 fine art collectors who know what makes something good store of value. Right, so 1 Bitcoin, this was in June 2022, was worth 28,000 and punks were around 48K. So it cost you roughly half a punk to get 1 Bitcoin. But that ratio a couple months later changed where the punks are becoming more valuable. It's requiring less punks to get that Bitcoin, to get that 1 BTC. Are people waking up? It's interesting. It's definitely fascinating. Will punks flip in fungibles? Could this sector become more valuable? I think from a cultural perspective and a consumer and mass and a mainstream perspective, it's possible. I think people make a good point as well from an institutional perspective for Bitcoin and from a financial sector perspective. It's definitely very fascinating. But these are some of the reasons why punks have held so strong and why they're so valuable. That's pretty much it. It's very simple. And the fact that it doesn't need to have all these crazy utilities and integrations and partnerships and an active team working on it makes it far safer. That's why things like Bored Apes, Azuki, DGods, these projects, you can see Killabears, they're far more speculative because that future is being shaped by a group of people and that vision is not yet complete. Versus CryptoPunks were complete in 2017. It was done. That's the beauty, right? That's why people feel very safe holding these assets and accumulating them to this day. So that's pretty much the wrap up. Like I said, we own 4 CryptoPunks in our DAO. If you're curious how we were able to do that, how we were able to sell out our NFT collection last year, raising, I think it was like 2,000 Ethereum or 1,500 Ethereum off of our mint and doing over 6,000 ETH in volume. If you're curious how we did those numbers, how we sold out, how we did our marketing, what our project even is about, and how you can do it too if you're a founder, I've created a moonshot checklist that all successful projects are following, as well as a free video training down in the description. All you got to do is sign up for it, and I'm going to shoot it to your email. You're going to get a ton of value out of this if you're very curious about the crypto market, if you're curious of projects, but especially if you've been wanting to found your own project, been wanting to build and create your own collection. Trust me, take it from someone who's full-time, first-hand experience, living, breathing, pooping in this space. This is what I've been doing the past 2 years. I love it. It's super rewarding. However, it's also incredibly difficult, and it took a lot of trial and error. It took thousands of hours, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So I know what it actually takes to become successful in this space as a founder. And if that's you, don't run around with like a chicken with their head cut off. You're just gonna waste so much time. You're gonna grow a lot of gray hairs like me, and it's just not worth it. So let me help you. Sign up for that training down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Just go ahead and smash up the likes on your way out if you enjoyed this. Peace and love.